All right, I want to go over a couple of examples of composition functions that they'll do. A composition, remember, is I do one function, take the results and stick it into another function. So I don't know a triangle that has 4 and 5, or I don't know the angles. I do know a triangle that has 4 and 5 as sides. And since I'm taking the arcsine of a positive value, my reference triangle is going to be in the first quadrant, where opposite is 4, hypotenuse is 5. And hopefully you guys remember from doing Pythagorean theorem that that's going to give me 3. So without a calculator, I have no idea what this angle is. I think it's like 53 degrees, but I'm just guessing. But I don't need the angle, because once I get the results, which would give me that angle x, I'm now going to take the tangent of that angle. So the tangent of this angle would be 4 over 3. And so that's the answer to this problem. So I used the arcsine to set up the triangle, used Pythagorean theorem to complete the triangle, and then got tangent of the angle that would be returned from the arcsine. It's easiest when we have positive values. It can be challenging when you have something that's negative. So if I said the sine of the arc cosine, that's pretty badass, of, I don't know, 3 over 7. I'm just making these numbers up. Sorry, I wanted to make it negative. So if I'm going to do the arc cosine of negative, remember we decided that the arc cosine, if it's negative, goes in this quadrant. So adjacent would be 3, the hypotenuse would be 7. This actually needs to be negative because it's to the left. So using Pythagorean theorem, I could say 49 minus 9 is 40, so the square root of 40 is the same as 2 root 10. So that's what this side would be. And so if I want to find the tangent, I'm sorry, not the tangent, the sine of the angle that would put me here. Again, I don't know what that angle is. I don't need to. What I do need to know is that if I'm in this quadrant, I would be looking at sine, which would be opposite over hypotenuse. So the answer would be 2 root 10 over 7. Okay? Let me do one more example, maybe with cosine and tangent and a negative. So if I said the tan, actually I'll do it with tangent and, let's say the sine of the arctan of negative 5 over 4. So remember we've said if it's negative, I'm going to set it up in the fourth quadrant, where this is opposite over adjacent. So I have opposite over adjacent, and if I did Pythagorean theorem, I have 16 plus 25. This is the square root of 41. The sine of that same angle would be opposite over hypotenuse, so that would be equal to negative 5 over the square root of 41. Okay, that should help with the homework.